All right. Whoops.
Woo.
It's gone. Welcome to Build Overdue. My name is Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at Buffalornia.
My name is Max. You can find me on Twitter at Cinco de Maxo. It's a weird week, Jeremy. It's a really weird week.
Indeed.
Remember the Titans.
Yes, you can't forget.
I can't forget about them. Sometimes we wish we could forget about them.
Yeah, I was starting to, and then I think they sensed it, and they said,
we got to do something notable. We got to get everyone upset so everyone remembers us again.
Yes. So we got a lot of shit to talk about at the Titans, but really quick, Zach Allen starting the show off with a like before we even started. So thank you much for that. Those of you that are already going in the comments, Christian Dillard, Sean L, Buffalo Mania News, Brian Bowers, thank you guys. So 1 second. Oh, Mr. Adam Nanini is in the house. It's Jeremy. Were you ever whoopsie? I hate when that happens. Were you ever a Buffalo Bills insider? There's something familiar about your voice. I wish I was an insider. I bet it's got one of those voices.
You just got a very recognizable voice, Jeremy. Something about it.
That's probably
also
it.
Shout out to Let's Talk 716 Sports. Appreciate it. Let's go. Joe Nelson with the Go Bills.
Thank you. So, Max. Let's get the Raiders talk out of the way. The game feels like it was so long ago, but
ages ago.
We got to talk about it though, right? So, Max, let's talk about the good, the bad, the surprising / interesting. Christian Dillard says, "I'm a diehard Titans fan. I'm not gonna lie, Buffalo looks terrifying." We're have some. Well, I'm glad to have a Titans fan. It's nice to get some comments from the other side. Hot take: Titans are faking negative cases. Yeah, we definitely got a lot of Titans talk. So let's get the.
We're gonna get to that Titans talk.
Raiders stuff.
We're gonna get to the Raiders talk first. Quick Raiders talk. Then we're gonna dive into the Titans, though.
Yes. So Max, let's get the bad out of the way. Anything bad that you can recall from the Raiders? You didn't.
Listen. The play on the field was spectacular. We got our defense. Our defense came around again since last year. It's kind of been a slow start for the defense the first 4 games of the season, but in the Raiders game, they picked it up. But the only bad thing really is with the injuries. Levi Wallace gets injured. He's on the IR now. Josh Norman obviously stepped up and did an amazing job. Shout out Josh Norman. He was phenomenal. But the Levi Wallace injury was bad, and the Matt Milano injury was bad. And those are the only 2 bad things I can think of that game. Those are 2 big losses.
And
Milano's injury is
the almost
worse.
Josh Allen injury.
Josh Allen. Let's talk about the almost Josh Allen injury, because I got to say, Jeremy, I'm very surprised at myself because I stayed very poised during that time period when Josh Allen goes down, grabbing his shoulder. I stayed very poised. I was not myself. Were you freaking out at all? Like, what happened with you?
On the inside, yes. I'm very calm and cool and collected, like all the time. It's just, I'm amazing like that. But no, absolutely. I was just like, oh no. It was just like, it was scary for sure. Luckily, it was. It didn't take very long. He was back, and I love how Diggs like instantly goes over to Matt Barkley.
Yeah,
and starts talking to him. Somebody on Twitter asked, like, what was your reaction to that? And I thought of the GIF from Captain Phillips when I'm thinking Diggs just saying, like, look at me. I'm the captain.
I am the captain now. I lead this offense now. Yeah, that's what Diggs did there. That was some real leadership he showed there. Like, as soon as he goes down, he goes over to Barkley, coaching him up, saying, hey, let's go. Doesn't matter. Next man up.
Yeah.
And Barkley's that's the attitude you got to have.
And Barkley's going to listen because he really wants a high five from Diggs. Have you see those videos like on the practice and training camp? Like Stephon Diggs refuses to give Matt Barkley a high five. Like he'll set him up and then Barkley puts it up and then he just puts in. Diggs always just puts it down and walks away. There's a couple videos like that, so I don't know if that's still going on.
Matt Barkley's he's not really a popular kid at school, but he's kind of he's not an unpopular kid, but he's not one of the popular kids, but he's trying to get in his way with the cool kids. He's trying to get a high five with one of the cool kids, and that's Stephon Diggs, but he just can't quite make it.
Absolutely. Adam Nanini, in case you want to know how to spell his name, remember it because almost nobody knows.
No, there's a lot
He
of
wants a
there's
wacky
more
prediction.
N's than vowels.
Did you
That's not
put
actually true,
the
but
did you publish your outrageous
unfortunately, Jeremy,
predictions?
unfortunately, it was a weird week, Jeremy. I started writing an article column this week. I didn't really do outrageous predictions because when I write it, it's normally a Thursday.
Mhm.
And by Thursday this week, we didn't know if we were going to have a game. And quite
Yeah.
frankly, I did not believe that there would be a game between the Titans and the Bills this week. I did not
Yeah.
think there would be one on a Tuesday. So I wrote this column about like what the heck is going on with the Bills, but it unfortunately didn't get published. By the time it was ready, the NFL had already announced that the game was going to be moved to Tuesday. But
Yeah.
just because I didn't publish something this week, go check out buffalofanatics.com. There's still a lot of great articles coming out of there, a lot of great content. But I'll be back next week with my outrageous predictions column. I promise you that. Promise that.
Adam, the editor in chief for Buffalo Fanatics, he wants a wacky prediction. So maybe we can get him one before the show is over, Max. Maybe you can pull one
Yeah, I
out.
think
Not right now, but a little bit later.
yeah. I'll get some. Yeah, I'll get something going. Yeah.
So I guess another bad thing that I can think of, and I didn't write this down, but I just thought of it, is how bad Zay Jones almost made us look in that game. In the first first drive, he got like a couple passes in, and I was just like, oh, come on, we can't let Zay make us look like silly,
I think I briefly joked last week on the vidcast that it might be the Zay Jones revenge game. It's not being serious at all. Like, I think the guy's kind of a bum, but it turned out when basically the top 3 wide receivers on the Raiders depth chart were all injured, Zay Jones is that wide receiver 1 in that game against the Bills, and he did pretty well in the first quarter. I was like, oh shoot, maybe he's got a little extra fire in his belly. Maybe he's ready to go, ready to tear it up. But he kind of disappeared, after the first half, I feel like.
He did. And speaking of, the Raiders game, Trey White has been on the injury report all week with a back injury. And Buffalo Mini News asking if we think he's really hurt. I don't know. Maybe his back hurts from carrying the defense or something.
Yeah, there you go. That was smooth.
Maybe that's what it is. And they're resting him. So
I'm going to choose to believe that it's just mind games. That we're just playing mind games on our injury report with the Titans team. I don't think he's actually injured. He'll be out there. He's Trey White. He's going to be fine.
Yeah, I hope so. And they said he was questionable. So I hope not. Even there's a lot of the people, the medical guys who actually can watch and like give you more information on it. I saw someone say they couldn't even tell where he hurt his back. So maybe it's just something minor that they don't want to aggravate throughout the practice or throughout the week.
Shout out Brian Bowers. Trey did say enough is enough. He did lock him down. He,
Yeah, I think he was trying to be nice at first, and then I think Zay got like a caution or two. He's like, all right.
If I'm correct, I think they were part of the same draft class. Trey White was that first round pick, and then Zay Jones was that second round pick. So,
I think you're right.
They have some history. They know each other well. Obviously, they spent some time together in Buffalo together, and Trey White got the best of him in the second half.
Yeah. Any more bad that you can think of?
I can't really think of any more bad, man. Because
it was a good game.
Damn good game.
Interesting / surprising. Brian Winters went out. First off, Quentin Spain on the bench again, but comes in for Brian Winters, but he goes to right guard, and Cody Ford goes in stays at left guard. So, the position that Spain played all last season and at the beginning of this season, they put him at right guard. Interesting.
Interesting. And you talk about the mix and matching of the offensive line throughout these first 4 games, and it's going to continue because once Feliciano comes back, it's going to change again, and Feliciano's pretty close to coming back for us, I believe. So that'll be interesting to see where the offensive line shakes out when Feliciano returns.
This is definitely a bad that we left out that I definitely would put in. AJ Klein. Yeah. AJ Klein, he was getting blamed for that touchdown that Darren Waller, I believe, got, or somebody. But he's definitely getting grilled for his coverage. And I believe after that, they brought in Tyrell Dotson, and he stayed in, and Klein did not. So it looks like, the coaching staff is also not really in for it. or not very happy with him.
Yeah, this game was a good barometer for what this year's offseason acquisitions, like how they shaped up. So, for example, Quentin Jefferson, stock up. Josh Norman, stock up. AJ Klein, stock down. All three of those guys were acquisitions this offseason. And obviously, Josh Norman made a huge impact. Quentin Jefferson made a huge impact with his, strip sack on Derek Carr. And AJ Klein just kind of was boring and sucked.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for us.
Yeah, Steven says it looks like left guard is a future position for Ford, in my opinion. I agree, especially after keeping him there when Spain came back in. And then Feliciano slots right back into right guard, which, is definitely where I think the Bills want him and like him. So maybe they're just kind of keeping Ford at that left guard continuity, thinking about the future. Still surprising that Quentin Spain just, again, benched 2 games in a row. He was bragging last year about not giving up like a single pressure or a sack, and then this year just don't know what happened. He had an inconsistent year at when he was on Tennessee, and part of me, I was worried that he could have another one, and sadly it looks like that's happening this year.
Yeah, for sure. Like Quentin Spain, getting my Quintins mixed up. Like he grinded this offseason too. Like, didn't he get I believe he worked out a lot and he got in good game shape this offseason. So it's really surprising to see him struggling, especially after the contract that we gave him this offseason.
Agreed. And injuries, once we get through this, we definitely got to talk about the injuries. A lot of people were interested. So the last thing for the good in this game, I just put Zay Diggs, Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. It was another game where Diggs balled out. That throw that Allen made across the field to Diggs, over the center, was such an awesome pass.
Oh my God. That was when you think about back to the draft process and Josh Allen with his big arm and he's going to be able to launch the ball downfield, that was the throw that it's that we expect to see at Josh Allen's peak. Cause that's the big arm, that's the jump contested ball catch for Stephon Diggs too. That was such a sweet moment where it's okay, it's finally here. He's arrived completely. Everything that all the upside that Josh Allen had has delivered. Everything's delivered.
Agree. And we got a question from the Buffalo Fanatics page. Who had the sexier beard, Max or Jeremy? If I don't win this by default, then I feel like I'm getting gypped.
I mean, maybe I should start. Maybe I should just start growing a little bit of a stubble. But it's not going to work out well. It's gonna look bad. We don't want that. Want that.
Sorry. Hey, it's all right. Like I said, you got the hair on top. I got it.
True. I more than make up for it with the hair on top. Not to pat myself on the back, but
so like I said, Diggs, Allen, Max, any good
and
you want to highlight?
Listen, Diggs and Allen. Not only Diggs and Allen, it felt great to watch a Buffalo Bills game this year where we saw the defense of last year. They arrived, they delivered, they were pressuring the quarterback with Quentin Jefferson.
Held Josh Jacobs to just not even hitting at 50 yards.
The run defense was stellar. That was incredible. That was the biggest, all right, we got things under control now. Where Josh Jacobs isn't running all over us. The defense finally arrived. That's what we're used to. That's what we're used to the past 3 or 4 years with this defense. And we saw the team on the defensive side of the ball that we've come accustomed to seeing. That was the biggest, even more than Josh Allen balling out and Stephon Diggs balling out. That's what got me really excited the most this week in terms of us having a possibility to be Super Bowl contenders and to win the big one.
Other good, Josh Norman.
Yeah, Josh Norman.
I mean, where do you start? I remember when he first came in, I saw him making a few tackles, he was there. And then the peanut punch and the fumble recovery. 2 games where the players who forced the fumble also recovered it. Good on them.
Let's not forget how this is kind of a perfect situation for Josh Norman. He's a veteran player. He's winding down his career. He's got Trey White on the opposite side of him. He's not expected to do the most. All he has to do is kind of be himself and be a version of himself that he has been throughout his career. Like he's clearly a very good player, but he doesn't have a lot of pressure on him because he's got so much help in the secondary with him. This is just a perfect situation when you think about it for Josh Norman.
A question I want to ask. Yeah, we're starting earlier today than usual. I am going to my brother-in-law has a birthday party a little bit later today.
Yeah.
And they did so much for my wedding that it was absolutely something that, definitely can't miss out on. So got to be there for that.
You're feeling guilty now. Yeah.
I don't feel guilty, but it was just 1 hour early. So no, we'll definitely be back to our normal time next week, barring anything, but hopefully we can all be flexible. So
true.
Yeah, we plan on being back to normal next week around 3. But
3
Max,
Pacific
I feel like
time,
we gotta
6 p.m. Eastern time.
We gotta finish this up because they're just bringing up the injuries.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Titans game.
And it's obvious. My what the fuck is just to the Titans.
Fuck the Titans. Everyone say it in this. Everyone smash that like if you just hate the Titans, pissed off with the Titans and Mike Vrabel and everyone in that organization, and then just the incompetency. Like, come on, like we have a damn pandemic on our hands, people. Like why aren't the Titans getting with the protocol?
Thank you for the super chat. Scott says one person I'm hoping to see on Tuesday game is Moss. I have seen him in the last 2 games because of his toe injury. Do you need the ball out on Tuesday? I haven't seen a lot of Singletary the last 2 games. Singletary the last game, I was kind of hoping more with the, everyone was saying how poor the rush. Everyone was saying the run defense, but I mean, I think it's like 18 carries and 57 yards as far as rushing goes. Not a great average, but I mean, he's really made up for it in the passing game as well.
Yeah.
He's so that helps. A little surprising, but that's a good question. I was thinking about Moss, and I almost wonder if Dable or the Bills didn't expect our offense to be as good as it was this year, because we're clearly like a passing offense now. We're passing the ball most of the time. So part of me was like, do we need do we really need the Moss Singletary running back by committee if we're not gonna be running it that much? I mean, does it make sense? It almost seems like the Bills weren't even expecting our offense to be so good. But I was thinking about that today.
Yeah, what I would say, Scott, is that our offense has changed since last year, and quite frankly, I don't think we actually, based on the last 4 games, I don't think we need Moss as much as Bills Mafia might have thought we needed Moss. Just on the way our offense is built, we're passing the ball so much more this year. And I've been impressed with Singletary. I thought he did very well last game, perceiving the ball and running the ball at times. We're not a run-first offense anymore. Sorry about that background noise. Got some cars going in the background. But I thought he did everything he had to do. And when he had to tote the rock, I think he did pretty well. Again, every time he carries the ball, last week, he's always falling forward, spinning forward for a couple of yards. He just looked so solid to me. I don't know.
Yeah. I kind of want to talk about the injury report. So the injury report that was released today, for those of you who don't know it, Josh Allen showed up for his shoulder, but he practiced full. He'll be playing. Cole Beasley had a foot injury, but he practiced full today. He's playing the game. I agree with Ray McLeod II. This is Ray's dad, who is a big Tyrod fan.
Shout out Ray.
Yeah, he makes a play, but he's good at turning those what looks like might be a negative into a positive. Sometimes you think he's about to lose 2 or 3 yards, and he slips out and picks up 1 or 2. I absolutely agree. John Brown and Cody Ford, both questionable for the game. Jake Fromm, not an injury, just limited. Is Jake Fromm just does he just stay at home?
I think I don't know. I think he's
practice squad player.
Yeah, I think they just kind of tell him just stay at home. No one on the team really likes you anymore. Just stay back. You're still on our team, but
just don't get the coronavirus. And even if
stay at home, don't get the coronavirus.
He still may not need you.
McDermott's just kind of keeping him in a kennel or something, like a dog or something. I don't know.
Is he even allowed to leave his house?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. But he always shows up on it. Matt Milano has been ruled out. That sucks. However, hopefully Edmonds looks better. I'm glad we got Edmonds if he's going to be out. Next, all questionable following Zach Moss, questionable, although he did practice full. Delshon Phillips, practice full, but questionable. Andre Roberts, limited and questionable with the ankle injury. Tre'Davious White, we talked about that. He's questionable. And Brian Winters, guard. I don't think we really care about Brian Winters, though.
Like, yeah,
go ahead,
he can be
injured.
Not a serious injury. Let's keep him have a minor injury. Just keep him off the field. That'll be fine with me.
Yeah. So back to the Titans. Kind of got sidetracked. Yeah. What the hell? There are like 23 positive tests so far. When the facilities were shut down, they were told to go home. They said, "Oh, we just can't practice here, but we can go practice somewhere else," which I don't think is the case. I heard today that maybe that's not entirely against protocols or something like that, but the positives just kept coming, and we're at 2 days straight with no positive test. However, we have 2 more days where if a positive test shows up, then the game, I'm guessing, is canceled. Is that the
yeah? Listen, like,
alternative?
So we had signs of hope on Monday and Tuesday. The Monday and Tuesday this week. So let's back up. Monday and Tuesday this week, there were no positive tests out of the Titans facility, and there was hope that the facility would reopen on Wednesday. But then on Wednesday, I believe there were 3 positive tests. Corey Davis was one of them. And so they had to shut down the facility. And so the best case to reopen the facility was Friday. And I think maybe some positive tests on Thursday. The facility hasn't been reopened yet for the Titans. Quite honestly, we're in this period right now where we haven't had a positive test today, Saturday. We have not had a positive test for the Titans today. But if there's a positive test tomorrow, like, I cannot see this game happening. We have to Monday or today. The rest is today. Sunday and Monday and Tuesday obviously have to be free, all negative tests. There cannot be another positive test or else this game is not happening.
Yeah, and our Titans fan who's in here, Christian, says he's tired of people talking stuff about the Titans. I'm sorry, tell that to the media. Everybody's talking about them.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like Mike Vrabel and the head coach of the Titans, and listen, if your organization, your team facility was shut down, and on Wednesday of this week, or maybe I think it was last week actually, before the Titans Steelers game, there were Titans players photographed at a local Tennessee high school, trying to get reps in, and obviously you can't do that. Like, I'm sorry, like, your organization, you can't let your guys do that. Like, and it's pretty. It kind of ruins football for the rest of us, like the fact that the Titans have done this. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I agree with the Spin 0481 recurring guest here. So the more the game gets canceled at last minute, and our Chiefs game goes back to Thursday, which is that plan, and we're stuck with no time to prepare for that game. Yeah, that would be a bummer. Sorry, Lone Wolf, I didn't mean to pop that up. It says, don't you have a Titans vidcast to listen to? I'm sure they're out there.
Might be. Not as good as the Bills vidcast, though.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised they've gone 2 days, because at the rate they were giving up positive tests, I feel like it's going to happen. So yeah, I don't know.
I'm very honestly, in my opinion, I'm not even sure if I'm a Bills fan, I'm not even sure if I want this game to happen on Tuesday, even if there is no positive results between now and Tuesday. Like, I just feel like it's still such short notice. Having the last positive test be Thursday, it's like, that's still only 4 or 5 days between the games. And it's like, you could still be asymptomatic. And I'm nervous for the Bills that playing this game is going to get us in trouble. And we're going to be kind of like the Patriots, like where we have like a couple coronavirus cases on our team, knock on wood, God forbid. But it's scary. And I'm sure a lot of Bills fans, I'm sure I'm not the only Bills fan here that might believe that we probably shouldn't even have this game. I don't know, man.
Yeah, like I said, at the rate that they're giving up like positive tests, I think even if they get 0 negatives, that there is a chance that there is somebody on the field on Tuesday that possibly has it and can possibly spread it.
Yeah, if I'm Sean McDermott, like, we're gonna wear extra PPE, like we're gonna wear like bubble suits playing the game. Like, we're not messing around. We don't want Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane do not want coronavirus in the Bills facility. Like this is, that these guys, one thing I will credit Sean McDermott. He's been very safe throughout this whole pandemic in the sense that he's always wearing a mask on the sidelines. He just strikes me as a guy that's very cautious going through this whole thing. And I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you, Scott, for the second super chat of the show. For all that's going on with the Titans and the violations that they violated, coach, to get a year suspension and a player is violating protocol, they should get suspended. In my opinion, they should forfeit the game. I mean, the NFL can only bend over backwards so much, and a lot of people feel like they've done it enough as it was. I mean, somebody posted that they talked to a higher up on another team, and they were guessing that Mike Vrabel could possibly get suspended for the rest of the year. I mean, I know the Steelers game that's being rescheduled right during their bye week.
Yes, it will be rescheduled, and quite honestly, the schedule juggling is amazing to me. This NFL schedule makers aren't getting paid enough this year of all years, because they're going to have to just absolutely, throw everything around. And what they're doing right now is they're trying to cram everything into that 17-week schedule. And at a certain point, we're only 4.5 weeks into the season. They're going to have to extend this to an 18-week or a 19-week season at this rate. If this continues to happen, I believe, we've already had, one game postponed for a bye week, and you've had multiple games postponed to this Monday night and Tuesday night window. So I don't know. I think the NFL is going to have to explore their options more.
Yeah, I think if anything, I would lean towards just putting the season on a pause for a week or two.
I would agree,
because adding a week 18, other people have mentioned that's not fair to the teams who have to play that week, who are maybe possibly contenders for the playoffs. Because then they're playing during a week that they should have off, whereas other teams are getting a week off and who are also in the playoffs, if that makes sense. So adding weeks doesn't really seem like it could be completely fair. But I think if it came down to it, like I said, if they just have to shut it down for a week or so, I think that'd be better. I don't want to forfeit. I mean, I don't want to play and have people possibly get sick. But at the same time, people mentioned if it's a forfeit, that's a whole. Think about the season Josh Allen's having. That's an entire game that gets taken away from him that he can build upon his MVP caliber season. Do I want to forfeit? No, I would much rather us play the game, but at the same time, don't want to take too many unnecessary risks. So
yeah, and I think what I would have done, I mean, if I were the NFL, I think I would, pause the season for this week, just postpone everything down the road 1 week. You have that 1 week in your schedule, the week between, the 2 weeks between the conference championships and the Super Bowl. Push everything down a week. Have no week 5 football. Week 5 football gets pushed back to week 6, and then so on down the schedule. And use that week to reevaluate your COVID protocols, because clearly they're working decently, but not as good as they have to be working with this virus and this pandemic. I think you got to reassess what's going on.
They were working out, but then, like I said, this whole Titans thing, that they didn't really plan for a team just kind of blowing up this much.
Yeah.
So
they're going to drop. They're going to drop the hammer on the Titans, whether it's Mike Vrabel getting suspended or maybe even draft picks removed. Something's bad is coming to Tennessee's organization, because the league office knows they can't mess around with this.
Yeah. A quote, Max. You and I kind of both pulled this up from a Titans player. It was Kevin Byard.
What the fuck, Kevin Byard? What the fuck, Kevin Byard? That's not my what the fuck, but what the fuck, Kevin Byard?
But he basically says, that him and other teams, they're sitting at home and first off, he says they're sitting at home. It's are you though? I mean, that's what you're supposed to do last time.
Yeah, are you sitting at home? Yeah.
That him and other players are sitting at home and they're hearing all the stuff that people are saying about him. And he's like, we're taking note of it. And then he says, at the end of the day, we're still 3-0. First off, you're 3-0 against shitty teams. So cool.
Yeah.
But you could be 4-0. You could be going for your 5th win. But because of everything your players are doing, you're stuck at 3-0 while the undefeated teams are at 4-0, So it's cool, you're 3-0. You're behind the curve, if you ask me. I know you put that quote down as well.
Yeah, I'm just picturing, Kevin Byard sitting at home watching ESPN, hearing on ESPN how the analysts are talking about how, the Titans organization just royally fucked up and everything like that. Coronavirus protocols are not safe. Kevin Byard's like, yeah, I'm taking note of that. Like how can you take? It's not. How do you put a chip on your shoulder like that? You literally like your organization messed up like with safety protocols.
Sin City Titan says, haha, y'all will learn about Kevin Byard. Yes, I'm sure Stephon Diggs is very afraid. But yeah,
very afraid.
They messed it up. And what other like comment, Max? Can you pull up any? Can you think of any other comments that you've seen from like Titans fans that are kind of ridiculous? I've seen one like Pragmatic who said, "I'm a Titans fan," and he's like, "This is our fault, like for doing this." I mean, you're grown men. You're told like, "Hey, you tested positive. There's something going." It's like you shouldn't be getting together, but it's annoying. It really is.
The best way to handle this if you're a Titans fan right now is just to, cower under a rock and just not say anything for a week. Like you can't come out and be like, yeah, well, our organization's still the best. Like, come on, man. You got to be ashamed right now if you're a Titans fan. I'm sorry to say it, but your organization fucked up. I wrote down that the Tennessee Titans are currently the Houston Astros of the football world. Like everyone just hates them around the league. All fan bases, they just messed up, man. I don't know.
I agree. So yeah. Anything else about the Titans? I don't know. I really don't know what else to say. We're still kind of in limbo here. I think I said, something can happen tomorrow.
I don't know. Maybe some conspiracy theory. Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Titans, used to be on the Patriots coaching staff. He's also a former Patriots player. Maybe Bill Belichick planted Mike Vrabel in Tennessee to. Maybe this whole coronavirus outbreak is a plant by Belichick in the Tennessee organization to try to infect the Bills. Maybe that's what's happening.
Very possible. He said, I need you to spread this around. And Vrabel was like, you got it. Cam Newton, Stephon Gilmore, infected. Yeah. He's like, no, not my team, idiot. Yeah. He's like, get out. What are you doing? He goes, oh, sorry.
Yeah, he messed up a little bit, but yeah.
And then he calls him up and he's like, hey, 23 of my players got a COVID, Bill. He's like, that's not what I wanted either. I wanted you to spread it around the AFC East.
Or maybe Mike Vrabel didn't do this. Maybe Bill Belichick used another plant because remember who beat the New England Patriots in the playoffs last year? It was the Tennessee Titans.
That is true.
Goes around, comes around.
I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for this, Max, but do you think that maybe Bill Belichick created the coronavirus?
Yeah,
he's pretty terrible, right?
He's pretty evil. He's pretty evil and bad from what we've seen. So it's definitely possible.
Yeah, but I mean, if the game is played, maybe
Bill Belichick ate the bat. Maybe Bill Belichick ate the bat in China.
He probably eats bats all the time. He seems like a bat eater.
He does.
Yeah. Like if you showed me a picture of Bill Belichick eating a bat, I'd be like, not that surprised.
I feel like he acts like a bat too. He probably just hangs upside down in caves. Whenever he's in a cave.
Another ad from our Titans fan. Just because we violated once, everybody hates us for no reason. Sometimes it only takes once when it's that bad. I'm sorry.
Listen, man, we only caused a national pandemic within the NFL one time. Like, come on.
But it's like potentially impacting 2 games now. So it's, the ripple effect.
I'm sorry, Christian, but you're digging yourself in a deeper hole here. And Bills Mafia is really coming at you in the comments here, man. I'm sorry. But
I mean,
we can't tame the beast Twitter. That is Bills Mafia. It's that's Christian. I'm sorry, but you're making this argument. You're making this Zach Allen. I drank and drive once, man. It's still a fuck up. It's still a fuck up.
Crash into somebody's car. It's like it's just once.
Yeah.
One time infected the whole team.
Sin City Titan says you guys are ridiculous. Everyone is going to have cases. Not everyone has.
No, not everyone.
23 cases. Not everyone has 23 cases.
Everybody. No, not everyone. 100% of the NFL is going to have cases. If that's what you're saying, but everyone does have cases. So let's look at New England. Cam Newton, Gilmore. They have 2 cases. Unfortunate. Like that's it. Not going to 23. It's not spreading. It's so far as I'm concerned, they're keeping it contained. You can't compare other people's cases to yours. Like it's a little outweighed.
Yeah. So that's the Titans.
Here's a random one from Spin. How did Kraft dodge the charges? I guess money does buy freedom. That's right. Roger Kraft and his spa days. Not nothing's happening there. Let's go to the comments. I don't have a whole lot as far as one of the last things I have to say is injury wise, the Titans are in a better case. I checked most of their injury reports. They just have like 2 questionable guys, and I believe that's AJ Brown and one of their linemen, I think. Bills are a little banged up, as we mentioned, so we got a lot of injuries. That could be unfortunate. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about that. But Max, we're gonna go to the comments for some. How about you? You have anything you want to?
I'm all set.
Add?
I'm all set for the Titans topic. I'm all set. I think I've gotten everything off my chest.
Yeah. So those in the comments, like, please, like, feel free to take over. The show is now in your hands. Let's see. You guys talk about everything but football.
You know, how about we talk about actually?
I'm pretty sure we've been talking about football this whole time and how things impact football.
So I just want to talk about a little bit. Like, I have a what the fuck of the week, Jeremy. Do you have a what the fuck of the week?
Mine was just to the Titans and deleted.
Oh, my what the fuck of the week. I don't know how we haven't brought this up yet. My what the fuck of the week goes to Ian Rappaport or not to Ian Rappaport. It goes to the NFL for suspending Ian Rappaport, NFL insider, for like 2 weeks or something. For a man. So he put on his social media a Manscaped ad. If you don't know, Manscaped is a men's grooming device. I'm sure Jeremy uses it often. Products,
yeah.
Products. And he got suspended for putting this, I guess, kind of risque ad out there, which I don't... Listen, everyone's got to trim their balls. 50% of the population has balls.
The Manscaped ads are very PG-13 if you haven't seen them. So I'm not surprised that the ad was probably, like you say, like a little risque. But continue, Max.
But like the NFL really suspended their insider Ian Rappaport because of this, and currently the Titans. I don't know. Like, I'm just relating this back to the Titans. Like, I don't know. What have the Titans gotten punished with yet? Like, nothing really. And Ian Rappaport's getting punished because he wants to put an advertisement out there for Manscaped. Listen, it's just Manscaped. Like, I don't understand what's so bad about that. I don't get it, Jeremy. What's wrong?
I don't know. Maybe it has something to, since he works for the NFL, if he's going to post an ad that, that maybe he's possibly getting paid for, maybe the NFL like has to approve it or somehow get a slice of the pie or something like that. That's what I was thinking. But you think it might be because of like just how risque the thing. First off,
I don't know.
The Buffalo Fanatics have a small partnership with Manscaped, so we're definitely not saying anything bad about Manscaped.
We love Manscaped.
Yeah,
Manscaped should be right there. Your company logo right there.
I don't know why it's not. That might be our fault. Thanks for pointing it out, Max.
Attention. Yeah, we love Manscaped though. But like, I don't know. Ian Rappaport shouldn't be punished for that.
Yeah. Tebow 1997 says if Brown can't play Gabe Davis, we'll have a big game. Everyone is going to be worried about Diggs. Yeah, I would really like to see Gabe Davis step up. He had a beautiful, like, drawn-up play for him, that touchdown pass against the Raiders, which was good. Absolutely, we're all excited about Gabe Davis. I think we all want to see him like continue to like step up. As a 4th-round pick and how deep our wide receiver group was already kind of getting with Diggs, Brown, and Beasley. I know me personally, I just thought he would kind of be just like, I don't know what the word is. Like, I thought he had like a quiet first season, and they would just take their time with him. But he showed up in practice and training camp, and he's made some good plays. He had a pretty decent stat line against the Rams, 4 catches for 80 yards. But yeah, absolutely, I would like to see Gabe Davis step up.
Just looking into the future a little bit. I think we should be fully prepared for Gabe Davis to, eventually take over in the years to come. A John Brown. Because he's shown it and he's only going to get better. And he's just a rookie this year. So, like, the amount he's shown as a rookie as a 4th-round pick, it's been phenomenal. And I think down the line, he's going to be able to fill John Brown's role. And he already has pretty much for the most part in that game. John Brown was injured mostly for. So
Yeah.
I love this Gabe Davis guy. Bills Mafia's fallen in love with him, and they're going to continue to fall in love with him.
Tony B has a conspiracy theory, Max, to add to yours. Tannehill is behind the plot. Have you seen his performances against the Bills? He didn't want this game to happen. But Tannehill is now free from Adam Gase. So, I mean, maybe he has a better turnout against the Bills. I don't know. Our defense isn't as great as it's been.
That's true. That's true. Also, yeah, I'm thinking back to last year when we played the Titans. It wasn't Tannehill under center. It was Marcus Mariota. So, I don't know. I think Tannehill would like. We haven't seen our Tannehill against the Bills revenge game really since he's been on the Titans. I don't believe.
No, because Mariota was in last time. So
yeah, because Mariota was in last time. So,
and I mean, if anything, Tannehill should have a soft spot for the Bills because it's because of our game against Mariota. Didn't he get benched right after that? For Mariota?
That's true. That's true. He should. He should go easy on us because he has us to thank.
Yeah, Tannehill should be buying all those Bill players some Manscaped trimmers to trim their balls as a thank you. So,
by the way, shout out Tony B. He always has killer comments, hilarious comments all the time. We should have him on the show sometime.
That's right. We should just every now and then bring on somebody. Yeah. Caitlin mentions, how did Ian not know any better though? And also, she thinks there's more to the story. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, it does seem kind of weird.
See, I read a piece on Pro Football Talk about it. And it was Mike Florio talking about it. And I know some people in the comments are saying that the NFL doesn't have, any sponsorship with Manscaped. But in the piece, Florio said that the San Francisco 49ers actually have a sponsorship with Manscaped. Like the Manscaped is apparently their official, quote unquote, below the belt groomer of the San Francisco 49ers. So it's not like the NFL isn't completely disassociated with Manscaped. I think it might just purely be the fact that, I don't know, I think the NFL wants more PG and less PG-13 sponsorships. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is soft. That's soft.
Yeah. Steven says, what are your thoughts? Will 17 keep up a similar pace all year? First off, Steven, Josh Allen is 17. I believe Ryan Tannehill is also 17. So I'm going to respond to both of these. But let's start with... As far as Ryan Tannehill goes, yeah.
Definitely not talking about Ryan Tannehill.
If the Titans can ever get on the field again, maybe. But Josh Allen, Max, do we think he can keep up a similar pace? I mean, every week he's kind of given us a reason to think, yeah, I would say. I mean, sure, he had like 1 4-touchdown game and then the rest have just been like 2 each. But, I mean, the Raiders, it's just 4. That's 4 games now. You say small sample size, but 4 games now, it doesn't look like he's slowing down too much. I kind of hope this Raiders game was his regression game, like only 288 yards.
288, yeah.
Only 2 passing touchdowns. Okay.
It's going easy. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping that this was his regression game. But he's not, to me, I think he's showing that he possibly can. And so far, we go out against these teams like the Dolphins, who supposedly supposed to have a really good passing defense, and Dable's just like, I don't care, like we're passing the ball. So I like the aggressiveness. They're not shying away from it. We thought with the Raiders, they said, they had a very poor rush defense, but we ran, but we still just passed the ball. Like it's just, I like the aggressiveness, and so far I think Josh Allen is showing that he can keep it up.
Yeah, and as Brian Baldinger would say, the analyst, basically the film expert for NFL. He's been given Josh Allen's been given the keys to the Ferrari of this offense, and he's riding away with it at 100 miles per hour, and he's saying hi to everybody along the way. And he's I don't know, he's the coolest guy around. He's the coolest guy in town. He's the new kid on the block.
Something we forgot to mention, Max, is some PFF guys have finally began coming around.
Yes.
First off, I kind of don't care, but PFF Sam, he loves.
I don't know. There's something about me
PFF Sam is the ultimate warrior. I like to call him that because that's what his profile picture looks like. But if you see him in person, it doesn't look like it. But he has signed the apology letter, and he stated it was because Mercury was in retrograde. So even then, it was like he wouldn't even take responsibility for himself. He was blaming science, which we're a very pro-science show, and I don't like that. You can't blame Mercury for your problems.
Yeah, I as much as I've hated PFF Sam for a while now, I now like him officially because he finally was willing to admit to the entire world that he was wrong, and he did it in pretty embarrassing fashion with the whole apology form, and that gets my respect. That gets my respect.
I didn't like the option of like, Mercury was in retrograde. It's funny, but I wish they had an option of like I just wanted to stick with my, built-in like narration. Like I wish that was in, because I feel like that's BFF's thing. And then
but I also did like his caption to the tweet or something. It was pretty good. He sounded like he was like, I'm fully admitting for this. I was wrong about Josh Allen, and that was all I needed.
We'll give you props, PFF Sam. PFF Steve, he's the one with the interesting haircut, is what I'll say. He tweeted later and said, "Send one over to me, like, and I'll sign it as well." And I instantly thought, print it out yourself, you cheap bitch. Like, come on.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Who's gonna send it over to you? Like, oh sure, here it is. Like, no.
Literally, a guy in the same office as you. PFF Sam works in the same office as you. Like go ask for him to print out another coffee. I guess they're working from home. Whatever.
Well, they're working from home, but still, you don't have a printer.
It's PFF Sam about it. Come on, man. You don't have a printer. What's going on?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Young people these days, man, can't even do anything for themselves. Yeah.
Matthew says, I think the D is starting to get warmed up. I'm hoping he's talking about the defense for the Bills, not a different D. But yeah, like I said, I think they showed some improvement. Again, holding Josh Jacobs to less than 50 yards, I think, is a good thing. God, it sucks that we just lost Matt Milano, though. I'm interested to see if they play Tyrell Dotson more and see how he does. Because yeah, I don't care if AJ.
At least this time, it's just Matt Milano that's out, and not Tremaine Edmonds too. That's going to be a big difference. I have a lot of faith in Tyrell Dotson. He's been pretty good this year in relief of some of our missing linebackers at times. So, it's going to be a big test for Tyrell Dotson, but I think Tremaine Edmonds is that middle linebacker. He's that leader, the quarterback of the defense. So the fact that we got Tremaine there, that gives me a lot of hope. But yeah, who knows how long Matt Milano will be out with this pec injury. Like, the fact that he's already been called out for the game and it's a Saturday, that's pretty concerning.
I wasn't really surprising, honestly. It sounded like
most likely going to win.
Zach says he had us taking the L to the Titans before the season started, but now with them having 2 days of practice and being COVID riddled, we should win easily. If we don't, it's concerning. It sounds like, by the time this game happens, they may not lose a lot of players to COVID, as it seems, and their injuries aren't too bad. I'm sure they've still been planning somewhat, but again, the Titans have only won against, poor talent, and the way our offense is, like before this season, I could say maybe, Zach, but the way our offense has looked, I don't know. I think if it was like two completely healthy teams going into it, I think we still have a good shot of winning anyways.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about, Jeremy, how do we feel about Tuesday Night Football? Because they talk a lot about, you hear analysts talk all the time about how when like an East Coast team has to travel to the West Coast or a West Coast team has to travel to the East Coast, that the body clock for the players is all messed up and everything. Us as fans, we're not used to watching football on Tuesday nights. Our body clocks are going to be messed up. Are we going to be ready to be watching football on a Tuesday night? It's going to be odd. It's going to be weird.
I'll be ready to watch the Bills, especially by Tuesday, because Sunday's going to happen and it's almost going to feel like a bye week not being able to watch them.
Yeah.
And then Monday's going to happen. That's not by Tuesday. I'm going to be like, thank God. Like, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'll be excited regardless. If the players are confident about playing and, the Titans aren't coughing and sneezing all over us, then, hey, let's just play the game. And, Tuesday night, a little strange. But it's kind of like we got – well, that's not true because we may lose a primetime game. But
I guess, I feel like Tuesday Night Football is a primetime game. It's going to be on CBS. That's going to be cool. It's going to be interesting.
I feel like if you're the only team,
pray to God no one gets COVID on them.
I feel like if you're the only game on at the time, then that's primetime.
Yeah. So even though it's a Tuesday night, it's a pretty cool primetime game.
Yeah, like when we played against the Raiders, it was
and
like, a 1 o'clock game. Well, Eastern, for something.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
4
4
o'clock
o'clock Eastern for you.
Eastern.
But there's only what, like 2 games going on. Like to me, that's
Yeah,
almost
that
semi
felt
prime
good.
time. Like not
That
a whole
felt
lot.
good. Seeing that
So it
game
doesn't
was good.
count.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on. Um, let's
And
see
then
what else
knock
is
on wood,
going.
even if it even happens. It sucks to say it, but might not
Oh,
happen.
interesting. Maybe this is it. NFL loves Gillette, big sponsor. So maybe they don't
Oh
like
yeah.
other
The
trimming
Patriots.
things
Gillette
coming in.
Stadium. Maybe
Yeah,
it's Gillette Stadium. Yeah, maybe that's why they don't like Manscaped. But we love
perhaps.
Manscaped because Manscaped's a sponsor of Buffalo Fanatics. Shout out Manscaped.
Yeah, very very funny commercials though. Informative. I like it. They're good. Check them out.
Check them out.
Lil
Yeah,
Debbie says
I
Bill should win
actually
this game easily. We are playing with practice squad guys. We are playing with practice squad
maybe
guys.
he's got to be a Titans fan then.
Oh, okay. But like I said, a lot of
Also,
people should be off the COVID list by then.
wait, get that comment back up. What's going on with that avatar picture there? Like, wait, that's not Little Debbie. That's not the Little Debbie I know from the Sweets.
Does that woman
That's
have dreadlocks?
dreadlocks and like they're holding up gang signs?
A little bit.
I
What is
don't
she
know what's
drinking?
going on there. What is she drinking? Little Debbie. What? Little Debbie gone bad. Anyway, I think this might be I believe I saw this is the second ever NFL Tuesday Night Football game. Like this has only happened once before in NFL history. I don't know when that other time is. So we're making history. Josh Allen's making history playing on a Tuesday night. Maybe Josh Allen is going to be the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL on Tuesday Night Football. Yeah. Let's think about that.
Christian, the Titans fan, still here, still repping. Good for you. Says, do not sleep on our defense. I will not, sir. I will not sleep on you guys. Absolutely not. Like I said, our injury list is worse. I do not sleep on your defense, sir. And thank you for perseverance. Still sticking around and watching. Good for you. Is Knox back to 100%? Caitlin asks. This should be a huge week. It's funny, after all the Croft build-up from like the Rams game, Knox comes back and neither of them did much against the Raiders. It was I think combined they had about 28 yards like passing. So I think everybody's back off that Croft train and forgot all about it.
Yeah. And it's a direct result of just how Brian Daboll's calling plays. Like, does Brian Daboll want to get the tight end more involved in the offense or not? And generally we've seen he doesn't normally target the tight end too much.
Mm-hmm.
He's every now and then there's some design plays for Knox or Croft, but it's not very often. So, it's not like Knox is bad or Croft is bad because they're not putting up these huge stat line games. It's a direct result of Daboll. One comment I want to put up here. Might be the Quentin Spain revenge game. Little Debbie says that. And he was on Quentin Spain, formerly on the Titans 2 years ago. And we were talking earlier in the show, Jeremy, about Quentin Spain not being back to himself really since last year. He's getting benched in this offense. Like, what's going on with that? He lost weight over the summer. Maybe it's time to talk about the fact that maybe Quentin Spain needs to get more fat in order to play well.
He lost too much.
Maybe
he's got to pack it back.
Maybe he lost too much weight. I think someone in the comments said that.
Yeah,
you got to start eating some Little Debbies.
I'm trying to catch up. I lost some. So maybe he's got to pack it back on. Caitlin also says, I doubt Trey White plays. I don't know. That would be a bummer. So we would have, obviously, Josh Norman is healthy. Who would be next as boundary corner? Would that be Cam Lewis? I know they signed him back.
Yeah, we got Cam Lewis. Wait, so
Cam Lewis be the CB2?
So what? Oh, if Josh Norman can't go, or
no, Josh Norman's going to go if Trey White doesn't play.
Oh, Trey White.
Trey White.
Yeah, we got Cam Lewis. Levi Wallace is on IR now.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, man, I genuinely don't know. I don't know who's on our roster.
Yeah. Let's see. Milano hurts. Dotson does not have Milano's at. Yeah, I agree. Like, we know how much impact Milano has on this defense. So I think, but the fact that we had to go through a game without him and Edmonds, now that we have a game where it's just one of them, I'm like, I don't know. That's like the silver linings for me. I was like, at least it's not both.
Yeah, I can breathe a little easier knowing that. Yeah, it's true.
Interesting one here. Storytime Zach says, I hated Dable. I still diss him sometimes. His refusal to run the ball, even when it helps us, is very annoying. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't say I ever like hated him. I definitely there was times last year where I didn't like some of his decision making. This year I can't think of a whole lot to as Storytime's access to diss him on. I mean,
I
I
definitely
don't know.
disliked him last year in overtime of the playoff game versus the Texans. That was my
Mhm.
biggest moment where I was like, this guy, like, what are we doing? But
Yeah,
now looking back on it after seeing this year, what honestly what Dable was doing last year during that game was like he was preparing Josh Allen for what the offense was going to be this year. Because if you look back to last year, we were a much more run heavy team. And in overtime, Dable said, fuck it, this isn't working. I'm just going to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands, see if he can do something. And
I
that's been
felt
the whole
like
story of the 2020 season.
I felt like Dable was treating that whole overtime part of the game as like a 2 minute drill, and he didn't need
Yeah.
to. It felt
Yeah,
like he
that
was
was
just rushing
ridiculous.
things, and it was like we don't need to do this. But
Yeah.
this year, like I said, I can't think of anything to harp on Brian Dable. I think he's doing great. Um, I would almost hope everyone's talking about him being like a head coach candidate. Depending on how this season ends, I would think like, maybe I would want to see this Bills offense through like another season or something if you like what you're building. Because again, Dable's going to go somewhere. I don't think Dable equals instant success. So he might go somewhere to be head coach, but usually when that happens, there's like some rebuilding has to happen. And I don't know. That's my thing. That's what I would tell somebody who, if they hired Dable as their head coach, like I said,
Yeah.
if you bring his offensive mind to your offense, you got to have some pieces. Sometimes he can be pretty creative and make something out of very little, but yeah. So anyways,
Shout out Tennessee Titans Weekly in the chat. Should be a great game. And I want to pull up Stephen Fry's comment here, or not, or Fife. I only ever criticized Dable because he refused to open up the playbook and it felt like he was babying Josh. I have zero complaints this year. He's earned that. I think most fans would agree. Like, there's a reason why people are speculating Dable might be a head coaching candidate next year. He's probably going to be a head coaching candidate if the play of Josh Allen continues the way it's going. Like he's earned it, and he's putting Josh Allen in position to succeed right now. And I don't think anyone should be complaining about what's happening with this offense this year. Like I think we need to recognize that Dable's been very creative on the offensive side of the ball all of 2020 so far. And I think we got to step off the Brian Dable. Let's take the pressure off him because he's clearly knows what he's doing and he's doing a very good job this year.
yeah. I want to talk about Lone Wolf's comments. He says Bean will be combing the FL free agency players and possibly a trade partner to shore up our weak spots. I kind of agree. Today actually, I think they mentioned they brought back Lafayette Pitts, cornerback, for like a workout. He's a special teamer, but could possibly add to the depth as well. I remember, I think like the last week against the Dolphins, he kind of came in to play cornerback. I think when Trey White went out, or not last year, but the year before, and he did decent. So that could be something. Everybody keeps talking about how Prince Amakamara is. As far as other weak spots, again, linebacker depth is still showing to be, a bit of a weak spot. So maybe some more linebackers coming in. 7 p.m. is early for a football game.
Wait, who's saying that? What's going on?
Josh Allen, 1 million likes. So 7 p.m. is early. I'm assuming he's talking about.
Oh, he's talking about the football game Tuesday night. Yeah. I heard initially actually that I heard it might have been 6 p.m., but I heard that and then I feel like they might have changed it, put it back an hour to 7 p.m. And I was like, 6 p.m. Are you kidding me? Most people aren't even, they're getting home for dinner by then. Like that's ridiculous. But yeah, 7 p.m. is a little early. That's gonna be odd. And it's gonna feel super weird just sitting down on a Tuesday night. Everybody's gonna be like getting ready, thinking about Wednesday morning and going to work, and like it's the middle of the week, and it's like it'll be fun, but it'll be weird. Everyone will be weirded out.
I'm gonna have to drink less while watching a Bills game, which I don't like that at all.
I'm saying, yeah, like our body clocks are going to be messed up as fans. We're going to be like thinking like, oh, maybe I got to get absolutely blacked out. No, wait, I have work tomorrow. Like or I have school tomorrow or whatever it is.
I like this comment, hashtag You're the Buffalo, Max. Gosh, I almost wish we called our vidcast that instead. That's a pretty cool name.
That is a
I like
cool
that
name. I like
saying.
that. You're the
Yeah,
Buffalo.
Bill's overdue. You're the Buffalo. Sean, start a podcast, call it that before somebody else does.
Yep, invite
That's
me
what
on
we
as
do.
the first guest. Let's do that. Yep.
Yeah. Bill's gonna be the first ever to win on Tuesday. Or has a Tuesday game happened before? Spin asked. No, Max said this is the second Tuesday game in history.
I heard rumors. I can't verify this, but I believe this is the second ever Tuesday night football game in NFL history. And I think we got to be thinking about it as fans. Josh Allen has a chance to be the best Tuesday night football quarterback ever in NFL history. That's a possibility. Nice. Let's make that happen.
What else do we got?
And Rick says, I wonder if it will be televised in ours and Tennessee's area or nationwide. It will be televised nationwide, Rick. So thank you for your question. It'll be on CBS.
That's what I saw. So
yeah,
that's good because I have CBS. So I stream everything, but I just happen to have like CBS All Access. I think I got it. I think I got it just for like the Dallas game last season. I just never canceled it because I'm lazy, but it's kind of worked out. Steven also says the Tuesday game has never happened before, Max. So this might be the first one.
Oh, really? This might be the first one. I might be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. I'm not always right. TJ Rock says Titans have the 5th worst overall defense. Jags had 480 yards. Vikings had 460 and Broncos 320. They've won their 3 games by a combined 6 points against average teams. I agree. I think the Titans might be a bit overrated coming into this one. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Somebody said don't sleep on their defense.
And I love our Titans fan in the chat saying, TJ Rock, no, we don't, in all caps, man. Shout out Christian. He's been just angrily yelling at Bills Mafia this whole time in the chat, and it's absolutely hilarious.
He has been repping for his team. Like I said, I admire the perseverance. Absolutely. I don't. You're not going
to change any of our minds, Christian. I hope Christian knows that he's not going to change any of our minds by just typing in all caps on the internet. But I appreciate your dedication, man.
Yeah. What people think of it. How about Max? Let's kind of do like a Josh Allen MVP update talk. Currently, like, how do you think he is? I mean, he's definitely an MVP candidate. Doesn't mean he'll win because somebody could be doing better. But Aaron Rodgers, something like to add, he is like playing, pretty much out of his mind this year as well.
Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are playing with their hair on fire, and there's nothing we can do about that. Like, Josh Allen is that third guy below them.
And I want to say it's okay if
not a knock on Josh Allen.
It's okay if Josh Allen doesn't win the MVP. The fact that he's in the discussion, that's great. Like, that's chances are somebody, like one person, might be playing better than him. Like, that's okay. But did you watch any of the Packers game, the last one they played?
I did not. I watched the Chiefs Patriots game on Monday night, and then I did not watch any of the Falcons Packers game. But I saw the bottom box score. It was like, Packers ran them out of the water.
There was one part, it was kind of funny. Like, Aaron Rodgers throws a touchdown to, I think, like a tight end or something. And the team's like running up and they're like, celebrating. And Aaron Rodgers is coming up as well. And they have like a camera pointed at the end zone. And you think, oh, Rodgers is going to join his team in celebration. No, he goes like around them and looks like straight at the camera and just like flexes at it. And walks away.
Yeah, no. What was great is I saw on the internet someone captioned that picture because it was just Aaron Rodgers flexing at the camera and the rest of the team was kind of off in the distance, so it was just him, and it was like someone on the internet captioned it, when you're in a CVS at 10 years old and you're looking at the security cameras, you just flex it in the security cameras at like the local store. Oh, yeah. If Josh Allen wins MVP, it will cost us more to re-sign him. Yes, it will. But I think we're fine with that. I think that's something we're willing to deal with.
I think Josh will give us a little bit of a hometown discount. Not a lot, but like, I don't think he will ask like to be like the most paid player. Like, I think he will take a little less than what he deserves. I feel like he would do that. What do you think he would?
I don't know. No, I can't say.
If it were to help the cap, if the cap
situation, I don't know. That's just like a biased fan thing. Like, oh, our guy's he's a nice guy, so he's gonna take a little pay cut. I don't know. I don't think so.
Tom Brady did it for years. He took less. Tom Brady always took less. So I mean, if you think, feel like Josh Allen could be in that mindset, like, you know what, I might take a little bit less, so the rest of the team has more. I think so.
Shout out Lone Wolf for fact checking me. I was correct about the Tuesday game. Apparently the Eagles and Vikings played a Tuesday game in 2010. So this is the second ever Tuesday night game. And also people in the comments are saying how, having to pay Josh Allen MVP money it'd be a good problem to have. It'd be a great problem to have.
It is a good one. According to this site, I just checked it out. The Titans are number 20, their defense. That's what it says. Titans are 20.
Ooh, Christian Dillard. What do you have to say about that?
10 or 12. They say that they are 20. Yeah.
Hey, all right, Tennessee Titans
Tom
Weekly. Let's engage with Tennessee Titans Weekly here. So if the Titans are overrated based on who we played, explain the Jets and Dolphins win. Listen, I don't know if you know, but we're not just 2-0. We're not just 2-0. We also beat a 2-0 LA Rams team, and we beat a 2-0 Las Vegas Raiders team. I'm not saying those two teams are the best teams in the world, but I think we put up. We're averaging 30 points a game, I believe, Jeremy.
That is true.
And
at least
our defense is back on track. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see Tennessee Titans Weekly. We'll see Tuesday night.
Speaking of Tom Brady, man, I was watching their Tom Brady versus the Chargers, and going in, like, ending up the first half, he had thrown a pick six, which was awesome, and they were down by, like, I think 17 or 18 points, and then he ends up just, like, going fucking ape shit in the second half and has, like, 5 passing touchdowns, and it really bursted my I hate Tom Brady bubble. So
yeah, you want to talk about Tom Brady for a second? He went absolute ape shit on Thursday night.
Yeah.
He went crazy on his teammates. Like, we've never seen him outburst at any of his Patriots players like that before. Like, that's just crazy. Like, he must not be liking it.
I'm sorry. There was a Chargers game, but then they played recently as well against the who did they play? The Bears.
The Bears on Thursday night.
Even better news. So he played out of his mind against the Chargers. Damn it! But we got Bills fans. We got they lose against the Bears, and apparently he's, like, going off on his offensive line, like, on the field, like, saying a whole bunch of shit to him. He then forgets. He doesn't realize it's 4th down. A play ends, and he thinks he's got one more to go, and they're like, "Nah, that was it." And he was like, "What?"
He was just he was memed the shit out of on the internet for this, like, little picture of him on, like,
and then after the game, Nick Foles is shaking hands, looking around for Tom Brady, and he just runs to the locker room like a girl,
like a sore loser.
Agreed.
It's great. This is great. We're seeing kind of I think we're starting to see the back half of Tom Brady's career where it just spirals downward. I think we're very close for it. It's just going to start spiraling further and further downward.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, he showed up in the second half of that Chargers game, so can we be sure? I don't know.
I would not put it past Tom Brady to go absolutely crazy this season and light the league on fire, but also, maybe he's regressing. I'm holding out hope that he's regressing, and he's just going to have a sad end to his career. Because wouldn't that feel so sweet? It would feel much sweeter if the sad end to his career was in a Patriots uniform, but having a sad end to his career, we need that. Do
you think he signs, like, a 1-day contract with the Patriots and then retires a Patriot?
Yeah, and throw that. You know how they do that? Like, they'll sign him to, like, I've seen running backs do this in, like, training camp right before they retire. Like, they sign them to their training camp, and then they, like, take a handoff at training camp so that their last ever carry in the NFL can be, as their former team or something. Tom Brady will throw the ball, like, to a white wide receiver, and that'll be his last throw.
Yes. Looking through the comments. Why does this keep happening?
I agree with. I pulled this one up. I agree with Caitlin here. I could care less about what Brady does. We want Pats and Bill to fall apart. Yeah, I want the Patriots to fall apart much more than I do Brady to fall apart. But Brady falling apart would also be cool.
Yeah, I mean, him being in the NFC, I'll be honest. Like, I I care about him a little less. And I guess I hate him a little less, like now that he's not a Patriot, you know?
It's true. I definitely hate him a little less.
Because the fact that he went to the Buccaneers and NFC team kind of says like, he's like, my whole point of my life isn't to make Bills fans miserable, you know? He's like, I want to do other things too. So he went to the NFC to try to make other teams miserable. So yeah, I hate him a little less now.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Maybe a soft spot for Brady, dare I say. No, I don't have a soft spot for
Brady. Nick Foles has Brady's number. Yeah. 2-0 against him now.
Yeah. Big Dick Nick. Let's go.
And all the people who talked about, like to compare Josh Allen to Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky is now benched. And Nick Foles is playing. I think Matt Nagy is just waiting to bench Mitch Trubisky. And
yeah.
And that didn't happen. Yep. So I don't know. But those comparisons got to be over pretty much now, right? That's a good thing. We got to be happy with not hearing anymore.
Yeah. Dude, Mitch sucks. Bottom line. We all know that. Yeah. Boom.
Here's an interesting one. Mallory says, prediction, Josh goes to the Pro Bowl as a quarterback and a fullback. Yeah, like maybe he's there and they just throw him in to play like a couple reps as a fullback, maybe some handoffs. He won another angry run from Good Morning Football.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see. But, you know, he probably won't be able to play in the Pro Bowl because hopefully he'll be too busy getting ready for a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. He'll be elected. He'll be voted into the Pro Bowl, but he'll have to decline because he'll have a trip to wherever the Super Bowl is being played this year.
Yeah. And
sounds like we're winding down here, Jeremy.
I agree.
Get some last comments in. Get some last questions in.
Nick Foles is overrated. That's true. Yeah. About to wind down. If you guys got anything else you'd like to talk about before we call it a day, you know, thank you guys so much for being here, part of it. The usual people I'm seeing: Lone Wolf, Spin 04, 81, Buffalo Mania News. You guys have been here the last few weeks with us. Thank you guys so much for being a part of it. Thank you to the super chatters. It was a Mr. Van Loo, I believe his last name was. Thank you.
Thank
for
you,
being
Scott.
a part of it.
We appreciate it.
Christian and the other Titans fans, thanks for sticking around. We appreciate you guys hanging out and sticking up your team.
I will say this is we have never had a week where we've had opposing fans on our stream. So that says a lot about your fan base, Titans fans. We respect you for that. And yeah, keep showing up to our streams, even if we're not playing the Titans. Like, that's awesome.
I think Little Debbie is also a Titans fan. She's saying Titan up. Chelsea says you guys are entertaining. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's you know, it's a game. It's sports. You know, we don't. It's all fun.
Yeah,
I'm glad to be able to talk to people from everywhere. Yeah. So
we're all friends here on the internet, all having fun.
Yes.
Except for Jets fans.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, Jets fans. Sorry. Caitlin says catches all Buffalo Fanatics whenever I can. Rico is the real MVP. Rico is he's doing like 3 shows a week. Dude's a machine. But
dude's an animal. Also, Richard Rush. Richard Rush just reminded me, smash that like if it was a forward lateral. Smash that like because it was a forward lateral. Yes. I wasn't alive for it because I'm young. I'm a child.
You weren't alive yet?
I was 1999. I was born in the year 2000, man. Jeremy. Yeah,
I was 11. I was 11, and I was actually watching the game. And I really didn't watch football a whole lot at the time, but I was watching that one obviously because it was a playoff game. And that was a bummer. So, Rick, thanks for the content. See you around. And like I said, Caitlin, the Bills guys, make sure you check out their stuff. They're doing at least 2 shows a week. One of my favorites, part of it, Hump Day Hotline, another one. And so check out good crowd.
Make sure you check out our Instagram at the Buffalo Fanatics on Instagram. Go check out the blog, thebuffalofanatics.com. A lot of great content being pumped out. And go check out our fan shop, BF fan shop, buffalofanaticsfanshop.com. And you get 10% off if you put the promo code overdue. I know it says Bills overdue.
I still
got to fix that. But promo code is overdue. You get 10% off at checkout. There's awesome merch there. We got hoodies, we got t-shirts, we got hats, everything you want, all the coolest designs, all the latest stuff to swag you out, look like a beast out there representing the Bills. Go get some and put in the promo code and save you some money and help us out a little bit. So appreciate it.
Yep. It says if my damn notifications worked, I catch all your shows. For whatever reason, it doesn't work. I mean, we try to keep it consistent with the timing starts at all. So like I said, we were a little earlier today, but thank you guys for still being a part of it. We appreciate it. But,
I know if you download Periscope, we also stream on Periscope. If you download the Periscope app on your phone and you subscribe to the Buffalo Fanatics, just search the Buffalo Fanatics within Periscope. It gives me a notification every time the Buffalo Fanatics go live, whatever show it is. So that's very helpful to me. So I know when the Bills guys is on, and I know when Rico's on. So that always keeps me up to date. If that helps, Caitlin, I hope that helps. But anyway.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for watching this week. We appreciate the audience. We appreciate the participation. I really hope this game happens on Tuesday, despite everything that's happened. I hope hope all the right pieces are in place. And we come out with a win, and it's a legitimate win. So my name is Jeremy. You can find me on Twitter at Buffalornia. Give us a follow. Max.
My name is Max. You can find me on Twitter at Cinco de Maxo. Right there. Go check it out. And you can follow us on Twitter, our podcast or our vidcast on Twitter at Bills_overdue. So make sure you check that out. It is at Bills_overdue on Twitter. Go follow us. And thank you guys so much for showing up.
Thank you. And go Bills.
Go Bills.